everybody wants to face each other. So is that where we're at right now with Canelo?
No. Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money?
Yeah, he needs the money.
You convince fans that he can beat Canelo.
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter.
You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. I meant that. You know.
Gervonta Davis believes Canelo Alvarez will decisively outclass Terence Crawford when they eventually face off in the ring. He emphasizes that Crawford is not unbeatable, pointing to the moment when Yuri Ortiz Gamboa managed to land significant shots during their bout. Davis, this highlights a vulnerability that Canelo can exploit, especially given his superior strength and size. He argues that the gap in physicality and power between the two fighters is significant, and that Crawford's past struggles may reappear against a more formidable and aggressive challenger.
How can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter. But, bro, I would say smaller fighters are always better than bigger fighters because they're smaller, they know how to move and things like that. But this guy is great at what he do. And another thing, bro.
Terence Crawford has built his legacy by consistently defying expectations. The undisputed champion in both the lightweight and welterweight divisions. He is now preparing to take on the formidable challenge of Canelo Alvarez at super middleweight. While questions have been raised about the size and power disparity, Crawford remains confident that his skill set will prevail. In a bold statement, he assured critics that they will be proven wrong once again, highlighting his unwavering self-belief and determination as he steps into one of the most ambitious fights of his career.
I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that. I meant that. You know, everybody's talking about the size and, you know, me being a smaller fighter, but if you look on the stage, I've been sparring these big dudes my whole career. Like, how I'm gonna take a punch? They punch me every time we spar. So, you know, it's okay. You know, once we get in the ring and they see something different, like each and every time, it's gonna be another excuse why, the reason why Terence won and this and that and that is. But I can assure you, I'm gonna be victorious, and after that, we're gonna have another parade.
Gervonta Davis, a standout talent in the lightweight division, hasn't held back in sharing his thoughts on the potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Renowned for his knockout power, Davis has consistently backed Canelo to win. He points to Alvarez's natural size advantage, physical strength, and extensive experience on the biggest stages as key factors that could prove too much for Crawford, especially since Crawford has yet to compete at such a high weight class. In Davis's view, Canelo's track record across multiple divisions makes him the more reliable pick, even when facing a fighter as technically gifted as Crawford.
Between Canelo and Terence Crawford, Tank is going to pick Canelo to knock Crawford out. We all know Tank had his little run-ins with Bud and things of that nature, to where Bud said he will fight Tank at 147, which is crazy to me, right? Tank ain't going to no damn 147. But nonetheless, Gervonta Tank Davis go ride with Canelo, and, you know, he a smart man. You know, he a smart man, because I think everybody and their mama see that, you know, Canelo Alvarez is too big for Terence Crawford, just like Terence Crawford knew it. But Gervonta Tank Davis always picked Canelo over everybody. Doesn't matter who it is.
In terms of resume and experience, Canelo Alvarez stands out as one of the most accomplished fighters in modern boxing. From his early clash with Floyd Mayweather to a career filled with challenges against larger, elite opponents, Canelo has consistently sought out the toughest tests. His supporters argue that while Terence Crawford is undeniably a pound-for-pound talent, he hasn't yet faced opponents with the same size and pedigree that Canelo has conquered. This history of thriving against physical disadvantages only adds to Canelo's confidence as he prepares for yet another high-stakes showdown.
I don't see Crawford knocking Canelo out. If Canelo lets Crawford get away with boxing, he may have a shot. If Canelo comes in there and boxes and cut the ring, Canelo has a chance of knocking Crawford out.
What?
Yeah.
You said Canelo got a shot at knocking Crawford out?
I think he does.
Why?
Remember, Crawford coming up for 135. And I don't know if y'all remember when he fought Gamboa. Gamboa rocked him a little bit too. And we talking about Canelo Alvarez.
That was a long time ago. If we gonna do that, Canelo got rocked by Jose Miguel Cotto.
I didn't know that. But on the real, Canelo has faced a bigger opposition. He's faced a bigger and a harder punchers. Who has Crawford faced that's a big puncher? Canelo's taking more hard punches than Crawford. The tail of the tape is going to be if Crawford can take the power from Canelo and can Canelo box with Crawford and potentially hurt him and finish.
Boxing analysts are urging fans to avoid relying on past comparisons when assessing this highly anticipated matchup. Canelo Alvarez is not Errol Spence Jr., and Terence Crawford is far from being Floyd Mayweather. Each fighter brings a distinct skill set to the ring. Canelo is known for his explosive power, slick upper body movement, and exceptional durability, while Crawford's adaptability and rare switch-hitting ability set him apart from anyone in the sport. Experts stress that this bout should not be judged by previous templates. Instead, it marks a fresh and compelling clash of elite styles between two fighters who each bring something uniquely dangerous to the table.
Crawford is a dog, that's a fact. Heart of a lion, that's a fact. Great boxer, great skills, high IQ, future Hall of Famer, that is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. You know what else is a fact, ladies and gentlemen? Terence Crawford cannot afford to get hit with these same shots by Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is not the mean machine. Canelo Alvarez is not Sean Porter. Canelo Alvarez is not Gamboa, and he's for damn sure not Errol Spence Jr. This like Terence Crawford is not Floyd Mayweather or Lara. We trying to say that Bud's gonna do the same thing that Mayweather was able to do. Two different styles, two different type of fighters. Mayweather is a pure boxer. Terence Crawford is not a pure boxer. That does not mean that he can't box. Before y'all try to kill me in the comment section. Yes, he has the ability to box, but Terence Crawford is a boxer puncher, ladies and gentlemen. He gives angles, but he doesn't move like a Floyd Mayweather or a Lara. He's not on his toes like that. And he also likes to exchange when he gets hurt, and that can be to his detriment. And if he exchanged with Canelo a little too long, it might be NyQuil time. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments.
Terence Crawford is undeniably tough, that much is certain. While he has the technical ability to outbox opponents, it's important to remember that Crawford is more of a boxer-puncher than a pure mover. He creates angles effectively, but he doesn't fight on his toes the way someone like Floyd Mayweather or Erislandy Lara does. Crawford also has a tendency to engage in exchanges when he's under pressure, a habit that could work against him. If he chooses to trade punches with someone as powerful as Canelo Alvarez for too long, it could lead to serious trouble. But what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Odd makers have Canelo versus Crawford Gillette close. Now, obviously, Canelo has the size advantage. He's 3 weight divisions heavier than Crawford. And most people believe that Crawford carries the skill advantage, being an overall more skilled fighter. Neither guy is known for tremendous defense, but it's still solid. And of course, they're both chiseled into the Mount Rushmore of pugilism for their ironclad wills. The one area that people say Canelo might have the advantage is in experience fighting heavier dudes. Now, obviously, all fighters spar out of their weight classes. But when it comes to actually fighting in the pro ranks with those 10-ounce gloves, Canelo's the only one between the two of them that has a multitude of experience fighting super middleweights and light heavyweights in the pro ranks. So does this slight advantage give Canelo the nod and make him a bit of a favorite? Or is Crawford going to prove that size doesn't matter and it's skills that pay the bills? What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments.
Canelo Alvarez enters the fight with a clear advantage in experience and natural size. Competing at 168 pounds is familiar territory for him, and he has faced numerous opponents who are considered Hall of Famers. In contrast, while this weight class is new for Terence Crawford, he is widely recognized as one of the most technically skilled fighters in boxing today. His precise timing, sharp counterpunching, and ability to switch stances make him a challenging opponent for anyone. This bout ultimately sets a classic showdown between Canelo's size and experience versus Crawford's technique and versatility.
He'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just think that moving up in weight without having fights to merit that. I think it's the wrong move, but he couldn't handle a 154-pounder the way that he was handling everybody else before, and Madrimov is not Canelo. Canelo's been used to fighting all the bigger guys and has done very well with the bigger guys. Nobody's hurt him. Nobody's hurt him. I mean, he's fought the biggest punch. He fought Gennady. Come on, he fought Gennady twice, really the good fights, and then Bivol hit him with everything and couldn't hurt him. So how's Terence gonna do that? I don't think he can. I see Canelo going away maybe in a 16-12, 17-13 kind of fight. The first 3 or 4 rounds will be difficult for Canelo, or a little harder for Canelo because of the speed. But once he just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, you know, the first 3 or 4 rounds where Kell was fast. But Terence is going to expose himself when he throws his punches, and Canelo's going to finally get this timing down, and I think we'll be able to control the fight.
Do you see a version of Canelo now that is slowing down? Obviously, a lot of people might point towards the Williams Skull fight, but again, despite how that one played out, people talk about his lack of motivation maybe for a fight like that. But do you see this version of Canelo declining?
No, I think the lack of motivation because of the opponent could have been the reason for that fight. I think these guys at that level, once they get a name, they're looking at a name. It's a different story. They're not only their motivation, but they're waking up earlier in the morning to go run. All those things come into play because they know they have a challenge ahead of them.
One thing with the weight, and again, Buddy spoke to me about this, is he said that if he was Terence, he'd come in just over the 160 limit, so he's just inside the 168 limit to try and keep a bit more of that speed instead of just like bulking up. Did you agree with that sentiment, or if you was Terence, would you just bulk up?
Well, let me say this. Like everybody else, I read or I watch some of the writings on the internet, and to see that Terence is weighing 186, 190 pounds, I think that's completely the wrong.
Veteran trainer Abel Sanchez has voiced significant concerns about Terence Crawford's decision to face Canelo Alvarez. Sanchez points out that Crawford has never competed at this level in terms of size and natural weight, making the challenge particularly daunting. He warns that moving up too quickly can create disadvantages that even exceptional skill may not overcome. Sanchez referenced Dimitri Bivol's victory over Canelo as an example. Bivol, a natural light heavyweight with notable size and stylistic advantages, still had to perform at his absolute best to secure the win. His message is clear: if a larger, stronger fighter like Bivol had to push himself to the limit, Crawford's task against Alvarez is an even steeper climb. Sanchez's remarks emphasize the significant challenge Crawford is about